Comics, comics, and more comics coming up. Hey, it's me, Jimmy D, and welcome back to Knights of the Geek Table. I'm here with John, Hubbard, Cat, and Soul's Elbow. Cause
Soul is here. He's getting a drink, damn it.
Soul at here.
But
you can at my elbow.
But today we're gonna talk about comics, manga, a bunch of different things. Manga. You know what I mean.
Sure, I'll have you know you offended me by calling it manga.
Did you see that Vine where the dude was like, I saw this nerdy kid with these books, and I pick up the books and I read it, but he's telling me I'm reading it wrong. I'm reading it backwards. He calls it a manja. And he's like, what the fuck kind of crap is this? Telling me I don't know how to read books. He put his book in the toilet. Then I put his head in the toilet, and I gave him a swirly.
But we're going to talk about what comics we are reading at the moment. Basically comic books of today and all. So sit back, enjoy, and feel free to put what you're reading currently in the comments below. We'd love to know. But John, let's have you start. What are you currently reading?
Well, I'm actually currently reading the Ultimate Spider-Man series.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I have the first issue of the Flash Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. Well, let me clarify. I read them in volumes. This is volume 1.
Yeah, that's the same way I do.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as, say, the Ultimate Spider-Man. So for the time being, I'm focusing on buying more issues of Spider-Man. I have 2 thus far.
Okay.
And then I just read Superman Birthright,
mm-hmm.
which was fucking awesome. If you've not read it, you need to read it.
Okay.
It's probably one of the best Superman stories just in general that I've ever seen or read.
Okay.
What did you read?
Superman Birthright. It's good. And then I stopped reading. 1 second. I have...
Pulls out a whole box, file cabinet, and everything.
No. I have volumes 1 through 4 of the Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo Batman series.
Uh-huh.
I really, really enjoyed that, but then I kind of stopped reading it right after this issue 4 because this is 0 year. Because after this issue, they kind of go back in time and do like a prequel thing, and I was kind of confused at first. But now I understand, and I think it just ended, actually. So,
Okay.
At some point, I'm going to have to buy the rest and finish off so I can have all of them.
Okay.
But that's actually pretty much it. I have a couple other ones, but they're not ongoing series or anything.
Okay. Hubbard, what manga are you reading? Or comics? No judge.
What manja?
My soul dies a little bit every time you say that.
Sorry, it's my accent.
Yeah.
Say again. Say again.
Manga.
Say again. I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
Yeah, you used my
I already
accent.
accepted. I am.
I've been calling it manga since high school.
I'm so used to it.
It
It doesn't affect me anymore.
But what are you reading?
I am currently reading the Neon Genesis manga
Okay.
right now.
John, what is up with that face?
What? No, I just don't like Evangelion. Sorry.
You don't have the mindset for it.
Oh, I have the mindset for it. I have the mindset to know when somebody's being a pretentious douchebag.
Okay.
But that's my opinion. People like it. The thing with Evangelion is it has very poignant commentary on a few things, including like some things that happen within anime and manga, like tropes and stuff. It's not my cup of tea, but there are a lot of people who do enjoy it. So whatever.
Like
Yeah,
me?
I understand if you enjoy it or not. I just fucking hate Shinji with a burning passion.
Everybody hates
Congrats
Shinji.
that. I hate
And
Asuka
just-
more than I hate Shinji.
Go to hell, Shinji.
Okay. Kat,
No,
Kat, what are you reading?
So I haven't started a new arc yet. I have a bunch of miscellaneous Superman and Batman stuff and things like that. But I did just finish reading the first 30 volumes of Batman 66, which is a fucking treasure.
Oh.
what the hell are you playing back?
God bless. Because it's essentially based on stuff from Adam West's Batman.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
makes it the best thing ever.
Because they have a 76 Wonder Woman that's based
Yeah.
off the Linda Carter.
77. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good. You're wrong. It's 77, but yeah, it's good.
I only know that because I've been staring at the covers for the past 3 days trying to get them read, so.
Soul?
Well, I did a haul. The thing I'm currently reading now is just Tokyo Ghoul Days.
Uh-huh.
It's more of a book than an actual
Ooh.
comic.
That's another thing I don't like. You guys both read books that I don't like.
Just wait, I'm nuts, John. Just hold up.
It's like I like it. It fills in stories in between the actual.
Yeah, well, okay, I don't like that. It's not that I don't like that specific, like, you know.
No, I understand. Like, if you don't like it, dude, I totally understand it.
Well, the thing with Tokyo Ghoul is, I don't like a lot of animes that have it very gruesome, or in my case, anime. They're obviously manga, but like I don't not watch them, and I can stomach them. I just tend to avoid them because I just find it unnecessary oftentimes.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I like the series and I like the books because it's the first out of the 3 light novels that focuses on stories in between the original series.
Mm-hmm.
Like before certain events start, during certain events start, after certain events start.
Okay.
You know how certain characters meet that you didn't really get.
You
in the
need to probably
original.
have a working knowledge of the original before you read that, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's written by the guy who wrote the original,
Okay.
so it's all.
Who is listening to what?
I don't have nothing open.
I heard music.
Oh, Cody's TV's on.
No, it's not. My TV's currently busted.
All right, hands up. No, I'm just...
John, what are you doing with your hands?
What I'm reading, Spider-Gwen. I picked up Spider-Gwen Volume 0, and I plan on getting Volume 1 later down the road. Like what John said with The Flash, it's a good story, and I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's going to be like my main one I must have the day it comes out.
John, you're gonna hate me. I ordered that, and I'm supposed to get it by Amazon Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Ordered what? Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Gwen's Volume 0.
It's a good story. It has a lot of potential, and I plan on getting the others. It's not a priority.
Hey, I was showing Jimmy there was a volume of fucking Venom where he teamed up with fucking Ghost Rider, Red Hulk, and X-29,
Uh-huh.
and they fought demons from hell.
Okay.
Okay.
How does that relate to Spider-Gwen?
I'm just saying for shit that you know, because I know you don't like it.
You what? You broke up on the last one.
Yeah,
On
he
that last
froze.
sentence. Yeah, all I see.
Dude, look at that face. That's a beautiful face.
His webcam's been doing this for a while.
Let me- Oh my god, it froze again.
I have buffering circles for both of them.
So,
I'm actually seeing both, and like my internet
Nope,
is
nope,
shit.
nope.
okay. So,
you anything that's not Peter Parker.
What? Okay, I can hear you now. What?
You don't like anything that's not Peter Parker.
he bought the fucking Flash. It's Barry Allen, not Peter Parker.
Well, okay. This is my issue with a lot of not only the Spider. Well, hold on. I look shitty without my glasses on.
The Spider-Verse.
The Spider-Verse, in addition to, I even have this kind of issues to a certain extent with a lot of Batman's Robins and stuff, but also characters like Supergirl. It bothers me when, instead of crafting like new, interesting characters from scratch, they just take from something that's pre-existing and kind of leech off it. In the case of Supergirl, it's Superman, but a girl. in case of Spider-Gwen, it's Gwen Stacy, but now she's Spider-Man or Spider-Woman, she's Spider-Gwen. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to make Gwen Stacy a superhero, great, I'm all for it. But why don't you make her like unique, individual, and like interesting without being attached to Spider-Man? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's an interesting way they do it because a few of the things are close, but like Peter Parker was the Lizard because he saw Spider-Woman and he felt like he was a nobody, so he tried to create a serum to give him powers, and it made him the Lizard, and he eventually died.
I've not read it, but that sounds awful.
But continuing,
I'm going to read. It sounds awful the way John describes it, but I want to see how it's actually.
That's why I said I have not read it, but it sounds awful.
well, that's not the main story. That's just the synopsis on the first page.
Oh, goody! I can't wait to hear the rest. No,
So
Miles Morales is actually the captain of the police force.
okay, back.
still a teenager though. Sorry, anyway.
I didn't know one thing would cause me to go from 4 minutes before I could say my next comic. I'm also reading Supergirl.
Well, I just
No
gave
shit.
Rebirth.
I don't need to say anything else.
Rebirth. Pretty good. This is the Cyborg Superman arc for Volume 1. Very well done. Better than what they did on the TV show.
Side note? Oh, no, sorry, continue.
Yeah.
I'll tell.
Right now, these are the only physical copies I have right now. I have one more that I'm about to share, but in the mail, I got Captain Marvel Volume 1 from 2012. Not the newest Captain Marvel, but a different version. And I also picked up Supergirl TV show comic that they did, and Batgirl Volume 1.
Gotta say, I was actually in a comic store like 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Pulling out to capture a sector. I don't know. What was I saying?
You were in a comic book store.
Oh, I was in a comic book store and I saw it was cool because it was a comic. It was the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie in comic form.
Oh,
Yeah, it was actually really neat. I didn't buy it, but it was cool.
must have not been that good.
Well, it was actually only half. The other half of it was something else. I think it was another Spider-Man story, and I also just didn't want to buy it right
Yeah,
then.
those are my pickups. I'm interested to hear about Batgirl with the PTSD from The Killing Joke. That's going to be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to pick up with Batgirl as a actual read-through like I have with Supergirl and Spider-Gwen right now, but my favorite comic volume that I have right now is the Raven miniseries. The story is fucking amazing. One, it's her without the Teen Titans, which is interesting because to find out she had a family. Her mother had a sister-in-law, and she goes there, and like it's really well done. The art style is amazing, story's great, and all. So that's my favorite, but it was a mini series, so it's only like one and done.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Snyder's.
Are there any comics that you're currently reading that do not have a female lead?
Well, if
That'd be
someone
none.
get him Snyder's Batman, there's that.
I mean, you like what you like. I just get visions of John on a bed covered in a certain white substance surrounded by his favorite female heroine.
No.
But
No.
Oh, I just got the white pillow sheet.
No. The reason
Candles lit, Marvin Gaye playing in the background.
the reason I don't have any male ones right now because it's so which is the thing about comics. the ones I would get is either Superman, Batman, or like Captain America and all. But like I don't know where to start with them because there's like 7 different versions or
Oh, there's more than that.
yeah, and then
There's more than that.
yeah, and then there's like
Uh,
there's Superman, there's Action Comics, there's Detective Comics, there's Batman and this and Batman
Okay.
and that.
Hold on a second. So I went through this exact same thing not too long ago. So that's actually the reason. Where'd it go? I got Superman Birthright. So Superman Birthright, you can buy this for $13. This is $13 on Amazon.
Okay.
It's a complete self-contained one-off series.
Like my
This
Raven.
whole thing is the whole thing.
Yeah.
So and it's fucking awesome. So if you need someone to just start reading Superman, go here.
Okay.
And as far as the comics are concerned, basically there is no right place to start. You basically just have to start on what's called runs.
Mhm.
So just when a new artist and a new writer pick up a series, that's when you want to start.
Yeah.
Because their run, even if it's continuing what's in the past,
Yeah.
it's really technically it's new. It's a new run. They may reference stuff in the past, but generally speaking,
But
it's like
even if it's a new run, they still the stories you have to get grabbed from other different titles to fill in the gaps.
not necessarily. It depends. Okay, yes and no. It depends.
Well,
though.
with
And
what I'm hearing about Rebirth and Superman, it's like you got to read. Oh, this continues in Action Comics, and it goes back to Superman, and
well,
This
I
is
mean,
why I stayed out
at
of the
some point,
company.
you just. I mean, that was actually something that bothered me a little bit with these Batman comics was that occasionally, because during the New 52 before Rebirth, there was a shit ton of other Batman comics.
yeah,
And so
There
I'm
still is, even in Rebirth, there's a shit ton of Batman comics.
Yeah.
I know.
there really
So,
are.
What most comic readers do, and this is the unfortunate truth, is you basically just, if you don't want to read them, just don't read them and just ignore it. Oftentimes, if they do, what happens affects what you're currently reading, generally speaking, they will explain it. If it's not in the actual dialogue, they'll often have, I don't know, but they'll have like a page up front, like literally just it written out what happened.
Mhm.
And so you can just read up on it. It's just,
Sometimes they also have a little asterisk that tells you which comic specifically to look in if you need background context.
okay,
And you can usually just look those up online.
yeah. That's kind of why I've kind of went for the female ones leads because they have one run set. They don't have all these branches. It's just one straight story.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, but I would recommend basically if you want to start reading something, just go back
Yeah.
because when like for example, that's why I want to continue the New 52 Batman because I know the beginning, I know the end, and I know everything in between,
Mhm.
so I know I'm not going to get lost, confused if new stuff kind of comes out. That's actually the other reason I'm continuing the Flash Rebirth. They go everywhere.
Yeah.
But with that, and especially that's actually the primary reason I'm reading Ultimate Spider-Man because this is from 2004,
Mhm.
And so I can easily get all of the books. I can read all of it when I want to, and it's all contained.
Mhm.
It's a nice thing. And if I really need to, know anything,
Yeah, I'm more of a trade kind of guy than an actual like the single individuals.
That's what we
You're a
have.
chocolate.
That's what we have. We just have the trades.
Yeah, but they're all bound right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really got into. I just recently got into the whole comic thing. I've never really been into the comic thing. I'm more been into the manga thing. Because at least when that shit ends, unless the company goes under, they just stop doing issues. Like,
Well, the thing is, I mean, when you're talking about runs in comics, when a writer and an artist stop and a new one starts, even if it's the same character continue, for all intents and purposes, it did end, and they're just it's almost like they've
Yeah.
rebooted a movie franchise. That's basically how it is every time.
That's kind
Even
of
though
why I did the Captain Marvel. I went back to the 2012 run. I know
Yeah.
because there's 3 volumes. I know once that 3 volumes ends, boom, and then I don't have to worry about
Like,
the Civil
I
War
want to
shit.
read the Hawkeye run that pretty much stopped
Hmm.
because that was supposedly really good. And from what I read of a bit of like the preview, it was really interesting.
No, to answer your question, John, I just am too confused to go find a male hero to.
That may be so, but I also feel like you're just really just, hey, chilling with my. I'm not gonna use that word. Chilling with my girls.
You were gonna say hose.
Actually, no, I was gonna use the B one.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay.
I'll use the B1. I don't mind it.
I don't know. I just don't find that a valid excuse because I had the same issue and here I am. But hey, what do I know?
Well, I mean, I understand, but Supergirl, I don't care. You can all day, every day. Supergirl, I'm fucking gonna read. The fact that they have fucking novels based off the CW shows, I'm getting them. Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl, all the novels, I'm getting.
I have never had a problem with you liking Supergirl or any of these other characters. I'm just worried because it's not like you like them. It's like you love them and possibly a little too much.
No.
That's why I'm worried.
No, he's fine. He's probably fine. Trust me. I know when he's knees deep.
Hubbard, trust me. I have a waifu.
So when are we going to do the live reading of Mr. T and the T-Force?
The what?
There is a comic series called Mr. T and the T-Force.
Mr. T. I've actually not read it. I think didn't Linkara do it? Not Linkara.
Yes,
yeah,
that's how
Linkara
I know of it.
I have not seen it. I have his review of it, so I don't.
There's John. There's also a Flash TV show comic book.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me in the least.
I don't care.
I mean, I wouldn't read it because I've already seen the show. What else?
Well, the thing is, they're different stories.
Of course they are.
With
That's how they get you.
just with different, like the Supergirl novel that comes out in November is about her going to Atlantis.
See, are they canon?
I believe so.
This is how they get you. You draw your sea bear circle, and then along comes the sea rhinoceros, and you're not prepared. What are you supposed to do?
But yeah, like I saw it was something Atlantis, and I was like, wait, what? And I looked it up, and they said these take place like in between moments.
And then
Did you go to Atlantis, and if it is canon, you have to...
Yeah. I forgot about this one. I do have Spider-Man Team Up, which is him teaming up with all the different Marvel characters, mainly the Fantastic Four.
Now, is this? I'm not sure if you're going to be able to understand my question. Is this mainstream Marvel or Ultimate Verse Marvel?
This is. Let me look it up.
Holy crap! Major enemy force pushing it on the territories. Everyone.
Them Germans.
The reason I asked
2005. So.
Well, okay. So during that time period, the Ultimate Spider-Man is what the Marvel did was they had the mainstream continuity, and then they have the Ultimate continuity.
Okay.
So for example, the first volume of Ultimate Spider-Man actually starts with his origin story. Like it's a completely separate universe, which they started over. But then you have Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men. They don't even have the Avengers doesn't exist. Instead, it's Ultimate.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Ultimate Spider-Man is apparently like the best part of that, and then everything else, apparently Captain America and everybody else is an asshole. Hawkeye. Oh my god. Hawkeye in the universe is crazy.
Okay.
Cool.
Who's going to fucking war during recording?
That's Hubbard.
Not me.
Hi, how you doing?
God damn.
Why,
Yeah.
Hubbard?
Hubbard, what do you think of the newest manga? What?
I'm reading a Strike-Wish manga, that's what. They got visual...
I'm
visual
fine.
on it.
Something I was too busy killing Nazis.
Killing man.
He's actually
It is.
right, though. He actually is right. I am playing a World War II game.
That doesn't surprise me at all. It is always entertaining
That
when
was over,
people,
so I guess you can talk to us now.
Like, when people multitask like this.
Mhm.
It's always entertaining. inevitably someone gets lost.
Well, I've been lost for so long, it ain't even funny. Um,
Maybe not to you.
but yeah, any other things with comics or manga?
I just want to say, it's people need to be careful when they switch from the visual media to the comic, or not visual, it's from the film media
Mhm.
to comic books and stuff, or the other way around, because they always expect what it is they know, even though almost everything, for comic books at least, operates on a multiverse theory.
Yes. But I did like how the Supergirl, because they just rebooted DC with Rebirth. They took elements from the TV show and put them into the comic.
Well, that's the one thing. I agree with that statement. The multiverse thing, not what you just said, but I do agree with that too.
Yeah.
But no, that plays into it. But I also think that comic companies do need to kind of play a part in keeping some things like how you kind of expect them. For example, right now in Marvel, if you pick up an Invincible Iron Man comic book, you're not going to read Tony Stark. You're reading Riri Williams. And if they're a Riri Williams fan, great. But why can she have her own like side thing? Like I kind of would like to be able to pick up Invincible Iron Man and read Tony Stark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I understand
Yeah.
that. And that was one thing. Again, if I picked up a male superhero thing, it would probably be DC, because Marvel right now is most of their.
Well, that I don't blame you. I mean, that's actually that's why all of my comics are DC except for Spider-Man, but that's early 2000s
Yeah.
Spider-Man. So.
Because Iron Man is, well, not even Iron Man.
I don't want to get political
Yes.
or anything, but Marvel has, for whatever reason, call it, people are, it's SJW or whatever.
Yeah.
But Marvel, for whatever reason, has gone on this campaign to purposely remove original characters and replace them with, Riri Williams, Iron Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, although he was around before, but they're headlining him more.
Yeah.
The new, I forgot his name, the new Hulk, who is an Asian Hulk.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The
Yeah,
new
the
Domino.
Yes.
Thor.
Captain America is
Falcon.
Falcon. Although that's happened before too, though. But he is now Captain America. It's just they've deliberately replaced all these characters, and it's like, I find that very interesting for like an Elseworld story, but especially right now when the Marvel movies are at their height and everybody knows Steve Rogers, Captain America, Tony Stark, Iron Man. You'd think that you'd want to reflect that in the comics, and because somebody who's only seen the movies is going to walk in. They don't even need to be completely caught up on the storyline they're reading, but if they just pick it up and the character they want just isn't in it, I mean, they're not going to buy it.
Yeah, it's like, for instance, I was in Barnes & Noble the other day, looking at the comics, and it was a buy two, get one special. And I went in and I was I found two, but I was looking for my third one. And my brother was with me, and he's like, "Hey, here's Captain America." And he pulled it off the shelf, and he looked at the front cover, and Captain America was black. Nothing. And my brother was like, "Wait, what is wrong with this?" And I looked, and I was like, "It's Falcon. It's not Steve Rogers."
Apparently, Hubbard's trying to start war with us too. He doesn't approve of our comments about this.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I think I talked to you about this before, but it's poignant now. So, my friend, when he was down in Florida, like last month, he was at a comic book shop, and he picked up 2 comics, which he didn't have to do. I don't know why he did it, but anyway, picked up 2 comics. And it was funny because he knows Captain America in the cinematic universe is actually my favorite character.
Yeah.
Well, now there's Spider-Man. I don't know. I'll have to think.
Mine's
about that
still
later.
Captain America, so.
I mean, you have to make a video first, John.
I may make a video discussing. The thing is, this Spider-Man really isn't the Spider-Man yet. Hey, anyway, the funny thing is, though, the first Captain America comic he picks up for me is the one where he's revealed to be a Hydra agent.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I
I
literally,
still hate that.
I literally spit my drink everywhere when I saw that.
Yeah.
The meme that followed it was the greatest thing ever, but that being a plot in the actual comic books as a canon thing.
It's so dumb, and everyone's like, and I remember when I listened to the writers. There was an interview with them because everyone was like, "This is very obviously like a cash grab thing, like just trying to shock and awe people to buy the comics."
Yeah.
But they're like, "Oh no, this is serious. I mean, we planned this out and everything." It's like, no, guys.
No, you didn't,
No,
because you just
It's like the
taken.
ending of How I Met Your Mother.
Like
Yeah, you
3
might
or
have planned it
4,
out,
if I
but it was
remember
a
correctly.
terrible decision.
And then it turns out that Steve Rogers
Oh my
was like
god,
a
how
double
did I
agent
end
or
that? Was
something.
shit.
what was that, Cody?
No, they didn't, because like it turns out by like by issue like 3 or 4, it turns out that Steve Rogers is like a double agent. Like, you didn't plan this shit the fuck out.
I know, but it's also funny because I have no context for anything that's happening in this, and so for whatever reason, because I thought Tony Stark, for just for reference, why you'd pick up an Invincible Iron Man and reread instead of Tony is because Tony is actually in a coma,
Okay.
but in this he's not, I guess, or maybe this is before that, because both Riri and Tony are in this, except Riri is wearing her like the brand new like her Iron Woman suit.
Yeah.
But Tony, for whatever reason, is wearing like his Mark II with the not even like the glowing eyes, with the little hole slits.
Oh my god.
I don't
At
like.
least when Pepper took up the suit, she became Rescue as opposed to another Iron person.
Let me see if I can show
But
you.
that's the thing, though. If, especially a person who was, other than DC stuff, was a fan of the Marvel movies before I wanted to look at the Marvel comics.
But that's the thing. It's like it seems so backwards as far as business is concerned.
Yeah.
You have billions and millions of people who may now be interested in picking up a comic, and they can't. They just look like they walk in and like, what the hell is this?
Well, the other thing is comics are actually really expensive
Yes.
Yeah.
compared to what you get for the same price on other books, I should say.
That's really why. I mean,
That's why I
that's the
pick
other
and
reason
choose.
I'm buying volumes from like back in the day too, or old like New 52, which has ended, because I just don't want to pay for the. Like I just can't imagine dishing out the money to buy just the single issues every month. Like
I just wait for the volumes.
that's what I do. Anyway, I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah,
There he is,
oh
right
my
there. That's the suit
God.
he's wearing.
That's ridiculous. But it's like I've added a wish list on Amazon just to label out what volumes I'm going to pick up in like the order, because, well, it's confusing to people who like comics. But like my mom, if she wants to get me and my brother a comic, she doesn't know which one to get, because I was searching Supergirl when I was in the other day, and she looked it up, and she goes, "Oh, there it is, number 2, right there. You have number 1. There's number 2." I was like, "No, that's New 52. That's the old one. That's a whole other storyline." And she,
Yeah, my grandmother and I had the same problem when we were sorting comic books before. And then we had like 15 different piles of Batman and like 9 piles of Superman or something ridiculous like that, just because there was all of the rebranding, and then there would be different artists and different storylines for that, and I was trying to sort those that way, and then we ended up at one point, before combining all of those, we had the floor covered in comic books because she was sorting a set and I was sorting a set, and then we had to figure out which ones went together. It was fun. It took a long time.
It's ridiculous. It's just confusing, and it puts it a lot harder on people who, like John said, who's coming from the movies to come over. And let me tell you, if I picked up an Iron Man comic and I expect Tony Stark, if it's not Tony Stark, I'm either going to return it or I won't pick up another one. It's just how it is.
One way is you can just like at least read through a bit before buying.
Yes.
That could help out a little bit.
You don't always get that option
But
because some comic books are sealed.
Well,
Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah, but true.
I mean, Amazon has the look feature, but if you go to Barnes & Noble, they don't have all the comic books. Like,
That's true.
there was a special volume set of Silver Age Supergirl comics. It was all of her best stories from the Silver Age. It was a volume 1. It just came out. So I went to Barnes & Noble to find that. Because I thought, oh, first day it come out, they're going to have it. And who else is looking for Supergirl in front of the Fredericksburg area other than me? So I went there, but they didn't have
Did
it.
you know there was the Fredericksburg Supergirl fan club?
No, I did not. But they didn't have it, and if someone was just coming to look at like Iron Man or something, and Barnes and Noble doesn't have it, your other choice is online, really, and sometimes Amazon doesn't have the look-in feature, so you're just judging off of covers.
Which is really, really irritating sometimes.
Yes.
Like I have one cover, it's Batman and Superman, and it's a Monsters of the Month cover, and so they are giant werewolves. And let me tell you, that cover does not have anything to do with the issue at all. Nothing. Except for Superman and Batman being in it. But my first thought on seeing that cover was, this is a kinky comic, and I don't know that I want it.
What year is that? Out of curiosity.
I don't remember. We actually had a whole bunch of Monsters of the Month covers. If I
Well,
find
it's just-
one, I can tell you.
I just know, because back in the day, there was actually quite, I mean, this is, I don't even know. I forgot the different ages of comic. I'm forgetting the exact, I think it was the Golden Age. Like the original, like,
Gold, silver, bronze, modern.
yeah, gold. So this is the Golden Age.
Yeah.
The original Golden Age comics, they often would have covers where it was like Batman and Superman on it, and then it had nothing to do with, and then you'd open it up, and they never meet in it at all. They did that quite a lot back then for some reason.
It's to sell issues.
Yeah.
One thing Marvel announced recently. I don't know if there's any other news on it. This was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. That
they're doing, I forget what they call it. I think it was Legacy or something,
Uh-huh.
where the idea was, or at least the trailer basically said, can there be a universe where, we can read Tony Stark and Riri Williams and the Asian Hulk's name is Amadeus Cho. I remembered it. Where Amadeus Cho and Bruce Banner are the Hulk or whatever. So most people took that so I guess we're gonna have two, just gonna separate the comic lines and have Iron Man and then Riri Williams separate, which would be interesting. I mean, I'm cool with that. So I could read my stuff and everybody else can have their stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're actually the thing is they say that and then nothing has been really announced.
Yeah.
And we don't know if that's actually happening. So it's kind of up in the air now. So we have no idea what the hell.
I would love that because I would love to pick up a Tony Stark or a Steve Rogers Captain America, and all because that's what I like. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, that's
That's the
what
only
you're
thing
used to
keeping
and
me
all.
from starting with Captain America, honestly, is I just don't know where to start, like what story arcs to go and look for or anything like that. I know which ones to avoid, like fuck
I think
that
that's
Hail
the one
Hydra
reason
shit.
why I never really get much of comics. It was much more confusing.
I mean,
I
Man,
mean, like,
okay. Hold on now. It's easier to pick up, mangas are easily better ordered, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Because, if you go to a bookstore and see, it's literally just all the mangas and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll give you that. However, anime storylines are something completely different.
Yeah.
Manga storylines are.
I only own one manga, and it's this Kingdom Hearts one. And one, I was reading it the wrong way for about 5 minutes.
Oh, that's one thing I gotta say, that the comics, certain comics, they have a tendency to do that where they're like, oh, it's these Spider-Man ones. So, I don't know if I can find an example of it, but occasionally in these Spider-Man comics, these Ultimate ones, this isn't actually happening here, but I'll use it as an example. So you see how these top panels are right next to each other on each page?
Yeah.
So I instinctively, when I get to the middle, I start on the next one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. However, sometimes what'll actually be happening is this entire panel is actually one.
Oh.
And
what?
Yeah, and it reads different. And so oftentimes I'll stop here, go to here, and I'm like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, oh wait, this is all one, and then I have to read all the way across and then come back. And it's like, let me see, I can't see if I can find one in here. It doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, I'm like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
I get that. There was one in the Supergirl comic that was like that, where I instinctively went. It was this one. I'll show you afterwards, but basically she flies up to the Fortress of Solitude and she pushes open the door, and boom, and then it's down here. It's a flashback. So it's confusing, and I honestly, to this day, don't know which way this one goes. because it could go both ways. I've read it both ways, and it works fine. But any closing comments on comics?
Oh well, yeah. Real quick. I mean, while we're on like because the way the panels and stuff work in comics is very important.
Yes.
And I'm trying to find an example here. The Flash, these new Flash comics, the Rebirths ones.
Yeah.
I mean, who's the artist on this? No. Yeah, there's two names on the cover. I don't know which, or three. I don't know which one's the writer.
Yeah, there's three on all of mine too.
But whoever the artist is on this, the way that he conveys speed through the book, and if you go back and see, I'm trying to find an example for you. When Flash runs, I thought it was one of the earlier ones. Give me a second. Shit, where is it? Now I feel like a jerk if I can't find it. Hold on. Shit. I can still make the point, I guess, but
For all of my complaining about comic books and everything, though, I will say once you understand the system, it's very, very organized.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to get the understanding first.
Yeah.
okay, I've had it. So the way he conveys speed, how Flash will run through the panels like this, where it literally crosses over into the next one, and he does it again down here. The way that kind of whoops, over here,
Yeah.
where it kind of comes to a stop. It's very interesting the way that that's used, and it to me it kind of conveys this speed and energy that you don't get, because everything else, like on the very next page, everything else is just boxed.
Yeah.
But when the Flash runs, he runs out of, like, he's not constrained anymore. He
Yeah.
completely goes out of the panel. And I just
Which
think
is that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, what do you think?
I would also like to say that for all my complaining, for the ones I've read, I very much have enjoyed them.
Yes.
Even with my selectivity, like, I really enjoy when I pick up a comic and I just sit and read it.
Yeah, the first one I did was the Raven one, and I just was blown away. Supergirl is fantastic, but I have a bias, so it could be shit, and I wouldn't know. Spider-Gwen, it was good. I definitely want to continue the story arc, but probably not at my own pace. But yeah,
Shit. So I was looking for. I actually do, or I did at least have a manga.
oh, manga.
I had the very first or volume. I guess I don't even know how they're classified. Is it issues, volumes? First book of the original Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Because that was when I was like 10, and I still had a Borders near me, which went away, and I'm actually really sad that it did.
Yeah.
But and I basically, and that's one thing again that manga does better, because I literally just walk up to it. Here is one, and I picked it up. Yeah, that was interesting. It was also interesting because I was like, actually, I don't even think I was 10. I was like, no, yeah, I was about 10, maybe a little older.
Yeah.
Because you know that time period, it just so happens that first issue of Dragon Ball has Bulba without her shirt on. So that was interesting.
Okay.
Surprise!
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you're reading, what your thoughts on the different universes, different comics, publishers, any manga you're reading. I know I'm pronouncing it all wrong, but that's just the way my accent carries it.
Manja.
But thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and like always, I will
It's
see
like two
you
ways to pronounce, to
in
be
the
honest.
next one. Later.